Welcome to tonight's edition of Hope TV News Watch. My name is Melissa Odor. On the sign language interpretation is Boniface Murray. The News Watch begins now. Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu has today led education officials in paying their last respects to the late Professor George Magoha. The farewell caravan passed through significant places in Magoha's life. Teresia Njenga begins our coverage tonight with that story.
The late Professor George Magoha received a celebratory send-off by his Nigerian in-laws, led by his wife, Dr. Barbara Magoha, as they traversed city streets and places symbolic to Professor Magoha's life. Song and dance rent the air as the Nigerian nationals sent off their in-law in style. The caravan carrying the body of late Professor George Magoha made its way from the Nigerian High Commission to Kenya, the National Examination Council NEC headquarters, where the Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu laid a flower on the hearse carrying the body of his predecessor. The caravan passed symbolic places to the late Magoha, such as the College of Health Sciences, University of Nairobi, the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council headquarters, St. George's Primary School, the offices along Dennis Pritt Road, State House Girls High School, and Starehe Boys Center. According to the funeral committee led by former Basic Education PS Julius Wan, these are some of the institutions that defined Professor Magoha's adult life. On Thursday, a requiem mass will be held in his honor at the Consolata Shrine in Westlands, Nairobi. Thereafter, the body will be airlifted to Yala Township Primary School on Friday for another viewing. The caravan will then move to St. Mary's High School, Yala, for another public viewing. Professor Magoha's final funeral mass will be held on Saturday at the Odera Akango University campus before his interment at his Umiru village. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Tess Njenga.
More than 30 Jubilee members of parliament have pledged to work with President William Ruto's government to advance its development agenda. The MPs from both the National Assembly and the Senate have made the declaration after meeting President William Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua at State House, Nairobi. Grace Ahati has the details.
The mass exodus of members of parliament from the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition has continued to gain momentum. Today, more than 30 lawmakers allied to the Jubilee party held a meeting with the president and his deputy, vowing to work with the Kenya Kwanza government. This comes just a day after a section of ODM MPs held a similar meeting at State House, a meeting that sparked speculation about the coalition's unity at a time when Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition is asking its supporters not to recognize the Kenya Kwanza government. During today's meeting, the Jubilee lawmakers said it is time to put their political differences aside and work for the people. President Ruto said it was inevitable for leaders to work together, noting that the people who elected them are the same people who elected the Kenya Kwanza government. Ruto noted that parliament is a critical platform for enacting laws on the government's agenda, hence he will be seeking their support on bills and regulations on the housing fund, water purchasing agreements, among others. The parliamentarians led by Balambala MP Oscar Shurie, Eldas MP Adan Kainan, and Isiolo Women Representative Fatuma Dulo said their party has a close relationship with the president and all they have done is to come back home. And due to the ongoing drought that has hit various parts of the country, the president said the government will scale up food and water provision starting next week. This even as the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition is tomorrow set to hold a parliamentary group meeting to deliberate on how to keep the Kenya Kwanza government in check. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Grace Ahati.
Our Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has today hosted a delegation of members of the Kakamega County Assembly Public Accounts Committee who paid him a courtesy visit to his office. Addressing the delegation, Mudavadi underscored the need for working together to serve the citizens irrespective of their political affiliations. He further urged the Western Kenya leaders to practice dynamic politics that changes with the emerging needs and adjusting accordingly in order to realize meaningful change for the region.
We are determined to get Kenyans out of that problem so that we can move forward together. And we cannot do it alone. We have to do it together with yourselves, all parties, irrespective of which political party you are in. We just have to pull together and move forward. And then I'll say it's also important for us to be realistic. It has to be pragmatic and realistic. The dynamics have changed. The demography has changed. So you cannot continue doing the things you have done all the time assuming that it is going to work for you. I think the reality is that it is time for us to adjust. Even as a community of Western Kenya, it is time for us to adjust psychologically. Some of us are the ones who are in the middle of the other team. Yeah? But we have reached a stage and we realize that if we don't adjust, we are going to be stuck there. So we have adjusted. I'm encouraging you to also adjust.
And Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has announced plans to establish a reward program for top performers in Nairobi in the National Government Administration Officers Group, NGAOs, in efforts to incentivize security management at the grassroots level. Now, the targets will be communicated through security committees, with performances expected to be reported up the ranks through a hierarchical accountability structure. The government administrators will have specific crime reduction goals set for them as a long-term strategy to improve the productivity of their tasks in security management.
In the region, in the county, in sub-counties and everywhere until the sublocation, we want to work towards reduction of crime statistics. And therefore, we will make sure that the assistant chief, the chief, the ACC, the DCC, the county commissioner, who achieves better results in crime prevention and reducing the crime statistics, we will have a reward system of making sure that we boost their morale, even as we look at their promotions and other things. But at the same time, the officers where in your area crime is increasing, we will also have a way of telling you that you are not doing a good job. Because there are no two ways about it. If we have to fight crime, we must have in place a reward and punishment program. For those who work hard, it must count for something.
A young man accused of arson in connection with the fire that killed 7 family members in Gimari's sublocation in Embu East Sub-County late last year has been charged with murder. Boaz Wanjala Iyati appeared before High Court Judge Lucy Njuguna and was charged with 7 counts of murder. There was, however, a brief moment of drama as the suspect struggled with the court officer when he declined to unmask his face, forcing the judge to intervene and order him to do so. Wanjala is accused of killing 50-year-old Charles Njeru, his wife Catherine Wanjiru, and their 3 children, Judy Wanjiru, Marianne Murugi, and Joel Njeru, aged 23, 24, and 7, respectively, together with his 2 grandchildren, Tumaini Blessing, aged 5, and Prince Baraka, aged 3. He pleaded not guilty to the charges, with the prosecution opposing his lawyer's application for his release on bond. Now, the prosecution noted that he was a flight risk given that he did not have a known abode, and also citing the gravity of the case.
In the circumstances, I directed that a formal application be filed for bail so that all the material can be placed before the court, because as I sit here, The court has not been supplied with sufficient material on the basis of which I can make a finding or a ruling on whether to grant this person bail. Between now and then, the probation officer will file a bail report. In the meantime, this person will be remanded in custody pending filing of a formal application.
Now let's take our first short break here on Hope TV News Watch. More news items are lined up after this short break. Don't go too far.
Wow.
Una dance competition.
Alibook ticket ya kwenda Nairobi juzi, most likely yuko kwa in-laws wake pale Mathare.
I should never wait for you.
Yeah.
Welcome to our first official
na si mume dance poa. Anze kwanza nini mnafaa kwenda competition France.
Natafuta watoto wawili. Wanaweza kumepita pamoja amevaa top ya red.
Na mtu sijui anawapeleka majuu amewachukua.
Ati?
We will need a team to go in.
Something is off.
Tomorrow night on Testify.
I am in so much pain. I was in so much pain that I can't lift my phone. I cannot go to the shower and bathe myself. And I remember that morning, the panel of doctors walked in and they said, we have not seen a case like this. You will recover in 3 months, but yours has taken 3 weeks. And for my mom, and he asked, like, we cannot explain how this is. And for me, that was God.
Hope TV. Look and live.
The Kenyatta University Christian Union Alumni Fellowship, in partnership with Hope Media, invites you to an Alumni Sunday service on 12th of February 2023 at the Kenyatta University Amphitheatre from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. The theme of the service is Rebuilding the Walls, drawn from Nehemiah chapter 2 verse 17, and the minister of the word will be the Bishop of the Christ is the Answer Ministries, Reverend Callisto Odede. This event will be broadcast live on Hope TV from 11 a.m. All are welcome. This Saturday, get ready for the showdown. Tune in and find out who proceeded from the group stages. Witness the participants you have come to know and love take on the toughest challenge so far as they continue to battle to be the diamond. But who will stand out in this ultimate test of skill? Find out this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. only on Hope TV. The Rough, identifying talent, inspiring passion.
Newswatch continues. Now, police in Narok County have launched a manhunt to nab 2 suspects who abducted Narok Central Sub-County Police Commander Frederick Shundu last evening. Narok County Police Commander Kizito Mutoro said the officer was accosted at his gate when he wanted to access his house. He said 2 unknown men who were armed with a pistol bungled him into a Toyota Wish whose registration number is not known and then drove off towards Mau Narok direction. Criminals also forcefully took his firearm. Now, the county police commander said the motor vehicle that the kidnapped officer was using was found outside the gate with the engine running and his mobile phone inside the car. The police officers who pursued the abductors later tracked the officer at the Tipis area, about 77 kilometers north of the Narok town. While condemning the incident, Mutoro said police have launched a manhunt for the suspect and are calling on members of the public to work with the police to prevent and combat crime.
Hawa ni watu ambao wanaonekana wanamjua huyu Shundu Kinaibei kwa sababu ni watu walimtoa kutoka nyuma. Wakati alisimamisha gari katika gate yake ile, ndipo afungue ile gate kadogo kale ka kuingia, ndipo sasa wakamshika na wakamnyang'anya bunduki. Baada ya kumhijack huyu OSPD, walienda naye paka pale inaitwa Tipis kule chini, ambapo sasa sisi tulifanya relocation. Na tukaona location yake mahali alikuwa, ndipo sasa tukatoa vikosi tukaenda huko na tubati mzuri tukampata. Kwa saizi hatuna bunduki hatujapata, lakini yeye mwenyewe ako na afya njema, ako steady na anaendelea mzuri, hana shida.
To some good news now. 25 bright but needy students from Alego Songa constituency will have their education funded by the Area Constituency Development Fund. Speaking during a ceremony to see off the beneficiaries who have been selected to join national and extra-county schools, local CDF chairman George Odede said the fund, under the patronage of the Alego Songa Member of Parliament Samuel Atandi, has already dispatched a total of 1.7 million shillings to enable the students join Form 1. The chairman, however, lamented over the high number of needy families in the constituency and called for the expansion of the kitty. He further advised the beneficiaries of the program to be disciplined and focused in their studies, adding that they are expected to excel in their studies.
This scholarship award was started by them purposely to get the most deserving candidates and students in order to help the disadvantaged families to get education. It is through education that those who come from the families of the less fortunate can also compete with the well-to-do families. I now say that today we are releasing a check of 1.7 million that is going to cater for these Form 1s that we have selected, numbering 25. Most of them are going to various schools. Some are going to national schools in Rift Valley, some are going to Nairobi, others are remaining in Siaya and Western Kenya. We advised them that as they go off to those schools, let them be our pride for our level Songa. It is known that we compete with other constituencies, and it is through them that we can compete and make a level Songa a better constituency. If it were not for limited resources, we would have taken everybody. We went through and saw how a level Songa is. Most of the families are disadvantaged, and we are yearning if bursaries allocation could be increased in future to cater for a bigger number.
To some more good news, Murang'a County government has allocated 1.4 million shillings to support the education of orphaned children. Governor Irungu Kang'ata says he has been touched by the plight of the 145 orphaned children allocated the resources. Each of them will get 10,000 shillings to support Form 1 enrollment this year. Speaking when he disbursed the allocation in a function attended by MCAs Charles Machigo of Township and Mwangi Mpesa of Nginda, Kang'ata said his administration is interested in the future of Murang'a children, further announcing that in 2 weeks' time, the UJI program for the Early Childhood Development Education ECDE learners will be launched in efforts to provide food for the little children.
Ni vibaya sana serikali yoyote ambayo haifikirii juu ya yule mtoto ambaye amewachwa na wazazi. Hiyo sio serikali. Sisi serikali ya Murang'a County tunasema ya kwamba yule mtoto ambaye hana wazazi, kwa hivi leo tumeanzia mradi wa kumpatia 10,000 aweze kusoma. Ni vibaya mno serikali ambayo haifikirii juu ya watoto wale wadogo, wale ambao wako katika shule za chekechea. Sisi kama kaunti ya Murang'a tumekuja na mradi kuanzia wiki 2 zinazokuja ambazo zitamwezesha yule mtoto anaingia katika shule za chekechea
anakunywa uji na halipi hata shilingi moja.
Nataka usaidizi kwa kama singepata hiyo pesa singeweza kusoma, ningepata tabu mingi sana. Hata kwa shule ya primary alikuwa anasoma kwa sababu aliwacha na alikuwa na mtoto mwingine wanakaa na aunti yule mdogo yake, wanakaa na aunti yake Nairobi. Hata sina kazi, Mahali nafanya ukulima, nalima shamba kadogo. Nataka usaidizi hata mtoto hii mwingine.
Siku ya leo nimefurahia kwa maana tumekuja hapa Murang'a kupewa cheki. Kwa upande wangu mimi mtoto wangu alipita na akawa mtoto wa kwanza katika shule. Nimeona Bwana Kang'ata ametusaidia sana. Wakati mtoto alipita alituita na akatupeleka bunge na akatuahidi atatupea cheki na alitupea.
The Kenyatta University Christian Union Alumni Fellowship, in partnership with Hope Media, invites you to an Alumni Sunday service on 12th of February 2023 at the Kenyatta University Amphitheatre from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. The theme of the service is Rebuilding the World, drawn from Nehemiah chapter 2 verse 17, and the minister of the word will be the Bishop of the Christ is the Answer Ministries, Reverend Callisto Odede. This event will be broadcast live on Hope TV from 11 a.m. All are welcome.
7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
150K. Wow.
Una dance competition.
Alibook ticket ya kwenda Nairobi juzi, most likely yuko kwa in-laws wake pale Mathare.
I should never wait for you.
Welcome to our first official. Leo nataka watu wa dance mpaka miguu ziume. Nataka wa dance mpaka viuno zikujike.
Na si mume dance poa. Kwanza nyinyi mnafaa kwenda competition France.
Natafuta watoto wawili. Wanaweza kuwa wamepita pamoja wamevaa top ya red.
Na mtu sijui anawapeleka majuu amewachukua.
Ati?
We will need a team to go in.
Something is off.
Tomorrow night on Testify.
I am in so much pain. I was in so much pain that I can't lift my phone. I cannot go to the shower and bathe myself. And I remember that morning, the panel of doctors walked in and they said, we have not seen a case like this. Amen. You will recover in 3 months, but yours has taken 3 weeks. And for my mom, and he asked, like, we cannot explain how this is. And for me, that was God.
Hope TV. Look and live.
This Saturday, get ready for the showdown. Tune in and find out who proceeded from the group stages. Witness the participants you have come to know and love take on the toughest challenge so far as they continue to battle to be the diamond. But who will stand out in this ultimate test of skill? Find out this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. only on Hope TV. The Rough. Identifying talent, inspiring passion.
And Mabati Rolling Mills Limited MRM, a member of the SAFL Group, has launched the Warranty Awareness Campaign that seeks to drive awareness and education around the issue of quality in the construction and manufacturing sector and other industries at large. The campaign also seeks to bring to the fore issues surrounding the prevalence of counterfeit goods and substandard products in the market. The product warranty, which will be rolled out across the country, is aimed at providing customers with peace of mind when purchasing Mabati products and other building solutions. The Principal Secretary of the State Department of Industry, Dr. Juma Muhwana, who expressed the government's agenda to promote local manufacturers instead of having to import materials that are locally available.
As government, our role really is to encourage manufacturing, and this is what we have committed through the Kenya Kwanza manifesto. And we want quality manufacturing. And also we have a role to protect our consumers That's very, very, very important. But when you look at the dynamics of our manufacturing, I was just talking to Anders here, we've had opportunity over the last 1 month to engage with manufacturers of steel and also manufacturers of cement with support from the Kenya Association of Manufacturers. We are losing manufacturing because we are not competitive. And what I've tried to say is, can we create a table, and maybe CAM can help with this, a table that has 25 issues. And then you say, on the policy issues, on the legal issues, on electricity, Kenya is charging this per kilowatt hour. How does it compare? On that table, there is Ethiopia, there is Tanzania, there is Rwanda, there is DRC, there is Burundi, so that we can actually talk with facts. So that we say, then how do we address where we are not competitive? Because I think we have generalized the issues up to a point where sometimes we don't know where the truth ends and where other things start.
See, it's not only us, and it affects the whole, everyone in local. It's us, it's roofing, it's DEFCA, everyone. You know, it basically takes out that volume from the local market. It has to be, you know, you have to also note that if we would have proper products coming in from China with the right standard, with the right import duties paid, it would be okay, you know, because that's fair competition. The problem is that the quality of these products are very, very low. Yeah? So, I mean, if we, for example, it's a little bit difficult to understand, but when we put a coating on top of the steel to protect it from corrosion, if our index is 100, these products will be 15, 20. Yeah? So, you know, so then you can think about how that affects the lifespan of the product. And of course, as we said, that would give a huge opportunity, because we're basically losing, you can count on that, you know, out of a 250,000 ton market, you know, all the producers here losing 70, 80,000 tons, which is basically a third of the market. And that is not just Kenya, it's the same in the whole of Eastern Africa, Tanzania, Uganda, the same.
To more business news, Equity has integrated Western Union services on its Equity mobile app and Equity online banking suites as part of the bank's efforts to enhance its digital banking offering. The partnership aims to allow customers to conveniently send and receive international money transfers through Western Union straight from their devices. The money transfer can be deposited into the receiver's preferred Equity Bank account. Commenting on the partnership, Equity Bank Kenya Managing Director Gerald Warui said the integration with Western Union is aligned to the goal of making banking a lifestyle, giving customers convenience, freedom of choice and control as they carry out their transactions.
We have been offering Western Union across our branches, but with the enhancement that we have done, we can now be able to access Western Union through the mobile app and also the Equity online. This service is available in 200 countries and territories, whereby our customers can be able to send or receive money using that platform. The advantages of this enhancement is customers can be able to access it 24 hours and ease of use.
And video conferencing platform Zoom has reportedly announced that it will lay off about 1,300 employees, or approximately 15% of its staff. The company becomes the latest tech company to join the layoff trend happening in the industry for the past few months. According to a blog post penned by Zoom's Chief Executive Officer, Eric Yuan, the tough but necessary layoffs will impact every part of the organization. Yuan said Zoom had grown 3 times in size in 24 months to manage the increasing demand for a solution so that people remain connected during the COVID-19 pandemic. However, the CEO continued to state that in the post that the Silicon Valley-based firm has seen customers cut back on spending despite people and businesses relying on Zoom as the world transitions to life post-pandemic. Through the fields now, a spirited fight by Nzoia Sugar in the second half saw the Bungoma-based club rally from a goal down and beat Kariobangi Sharks 3-1 at the Utalii grounds this evening. Nzoia broke for the 15-minute-long half-time breather, trailing 1-0, but their stellar show in the second half bore 3 goals that annihilated the Sharks. Following the win, the Sugarmen extended their stay at the top of the Football Federation FKF Premier League table with 31 points.
And I think Sharks is one of the best scoring teams in the league with over 22 goals. But again, you cannot be the best scoring teams, and again, you have to consider an equal number of the same goals you have conceded. So it's a tough one, especially for my defending. And maybe what do I need? Does it mean that if I have to improve my defenders, I have to work more harder? And if I don't have to improve my defenders, then you have to get you have to come in with an experienced person at the back.
Asili yetu ilikuwa ni kujaribu kucheza mpira na kujaribu kusipatia vijana nafasi, kwa sababu tuliona vijana ndio ball boy. So tu first half tuliwachia kidogo ndio pata wakakampa game, but the second half tunaambia tusipate space, tupate space utatuua. So tujaribu close space, alafu tujaribu pia to win ball, tuje transition pia haraka tuende kwa yao na tutafunga mchezo.
The Kasarani Football Federation members have vowed not to relent in seeking funds from other stakeholders so as to continue playing in their league. This follows the information given to the teams that Kasarani Member of Parliament Ronald Kamuiko Karauri will not be able to pay for their team's affiliation fee normally paid by the previous regimes to the FKF Nairobi East branch for teams to be able to participate in their respective leagues. The KFA officials convened an emergency meeting with all teams officials and other football stakeholders in Kasarani, calling on well-wishers to come to their aid.
Mimi nimesikitishwa kwanza na nimekasirika sana kwa sababu kiongozi ambaye tumemchagua ni mtu ambaye tunajua anajua mambo ya vijana, anajua mambo ya mpira, alituambia, akatupatia ahadi. Lakini on Monday tulikuja hapa kufuatilia mambo ya payment. Tukakaa pale kwa ofisi, tukapata habari kwamba sijui timu zilikuwa 63, kuna zingine zimetolewa, kuna zingine zimewekwa, mambo ambayo hayaeleweki. Na hao watu ambao wanatolewa ama wanawekwa kwenye list ni vijana wa Kasarani, ni watu ambao walipiga kura na wanapanishiwa kwa sababu sijui ni shida gani, ama ni kwa sababu walipiga kura. So kama walipigia mheshimiwa kura na akaingia kwa kiti, wanafaa kuwapanish jamaa? Hapana, si ndio? Ama vijana wa Kasarani tutapanishiwa juu tulimpatia kura? Hiyo ni makosa yetu. Si alikuja akatuomba kura, akatuambia mimi nikiingia kama tarehe 5 tulikuwa pale last year 22 December, tarehe 5 2022 December tulikuwa na tournament pale Bamao. Mheshimiwa mwenyewe alikuja pale akasimama, tulikuwa na media ilikuwa pale, na akasema yeye mwenyewe kwamba mambo ya vijana anayajua, si ndio? Akasema hata mambo ya coaching hataki, anajua mambo ya vijana, yeye hata anataka kudeal na captain wa kila timu, si ndio? Alituambia hata mambo ya league affiliation akatuambia tusikuwa na nini wasiwasi. Sasa leo tumefikia ile time ya kwenda kulipa, anakuja kutugeuka. Kwani mheshimiwa ni kigeugeu?
Kama hatalipa, tunawakaribisha pia wale waliokuwa MPs waje watusaidie. Si lazima yeye peke yake kama ameshindwa kulipa. Wale waliokuwa wapinzani wake pia waje wasaidie hawa vijana kwa walipia ligi. Tunawakaribisha.
And Maurice Ajwanga's first half penalty was enough for KCBFC to collect 3 important points against Batoto Bamungu at the Kasarani Annex. KCB's John Mwangi was forced off the pitch after colliding with the goalkeeper to earn his team a penalty that would separate the two sides after the final whistle. But the Bankers remained third in the log standings behind league leaders Nzoia Sugar, who edged out Kariobangi Sharks earlier, and Gor Mahia, who also beat defending champions Tusker FC.
It was a tough match. We came into this match, of course, yearning to get another 3 points, which will boost our consistency. And you know, in football, consistency is the key. So winning this match is important for the team, and I hope John Mwangi, the knock that he got in the first 15 minutes, is not that big that can disallow him to play in the next match, because he's also part of our team. So we just pray and hope that all will be well with him. So we appreciate for the efforts that all the boys have done this afternoon. We've been playing we have been playing 3 matches in a week, and we have done so in the month of January. So getting like for 4 days of rest will be important for our players to recuperate and come back for the 19th March against Vihiga with another fresh mind and body to compete for the 3 points away.
And to some basketball now. LeBron James has become the NBA's all-time leading scorer, passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's long-standing record. Los Angeles Lakers star James hit 38 points in a 133-130 defeat by the Oklahoma City Thunder to surpass Abdul-Jabbar's mark of 38,387 set in 1989. The 38-year-old, who needed 36 points to break the record, did so with a fadeaway jumper at the end of the third quarter, and he finished the match with a career total of 38,390. And that's how we wrap up Newswatch tonight. Thank you, as usual, for their invaluable company you have accorded me. My name is Melissa Odor. Boniface Murray has been helping us on the sign language end. Have a good night.